So this is where I guess the rubber meets the road. You know, when you're creating a character, is the finished sculpture. So this is where you really want to take your time and really put in all the detail and really do your best to make this look as realistic as possible in the time that we have. But I'm just slowly just kind of battening down the edges here and creeping into the sculpture. This is where you kind of get into the zone and start dreaming about how it's all going to come together and how you're going to paint it, and really starting to really see this thing come together. Work out of my home studio. Like I've said many times, I've converted my garage into a little workshop, and that's not me barking. It's I have two Australian Shepherds, and they're out in the yard having a good old time right now. You'll meet them. You'll meet them. They love coming in here and hanging out. I love having them with me. And they're really good company. I love them. So just blending this nose, this corner of the nose onto the syntactic mold. And this represents the, once again, I said it like a broken record, this is the old eye bags and the old wrinkly cheekbone that's built, the prosthetic is built right into this mold, so I can actually just blend this right onto the next piece. It will overlap when we're applying this. And the same on this side as the other side, just working the sculpture into the old cheek here. And that's not my stomach growling. That's the furnace room, which is just inside my garage door here. So I just wanted to just show you a little fine point here on this mold that I came down this morning and I was thinking about, you know, the nostrils. I had taken the undercut out on this mold in the nostrils, but I just wanted to revisit it and just make absolutely sure that there would be no chance that anything on the negative mold would catch and lock into the, you know, the nostrils here. So I just took the scalpel and I just slightly sanded away any potential little hang up here. You know, just a few millimeters of just scraping this back a little bit and smoothing it out, just so that they release properly the negative from the positive, this being the positive. Also, I just wanted to revisit the sculpture very carefully. I actually carved away all the clay. I just wanted to see where this nasolabial fold meets the meets Lauren's actual nostril right here, so that I can just re-sculpt this. And I also took away the thickness of the clay, because weight is an important thing to consider when you're sculpting silicone for silicone appliances. You don't want something too heavy on the nose where it could droop or slide or move. So I just wanted to take away some of the thickness of the clay sculpture, and just really see and resculpt this nostril to really fit around Lauren's nostrils nice and carefully, and also meeting the cheek sculpture. So just wanted to revisit these areas, these very critical areas, make sure they fit and move properly when we apply the makeup. So I'm getting into the nitty gritty of marrying the forehead and nose sculpture into the cheeks and the jowls here, the nasolabial fold. So it's all little bits of clay and working all the details into this piece in here. So I'm also changing a few little things, like I went back and I wasn't crazy about some of the forehead wrinkles right in here, so I kind of adjusted that a little bit and adjusted the tip of the nose a little bit. There's little things you can do to hopefully improve the sculpture and make it better, because this is where you're going to catch it. Once this is done, it's committed to an epoxy mold. So this is your last chance to really fine tune it and get it the way you want, the overall look of everything. So just working on these little details in here. And there's Ginger, just making sure the mailman drops off the mail in the mailbox. Oh, little bits of clay, little pieces of clay. So what I'll do is I'll work these little textures into the, you can see these little lines that I sculpted and into the cheek. So I'll continue some of that right onto the nose. I have these cute little tools that are great for little details like this. Little raking tool, this is a great one. I'm enjoying working with this on these little small details. Get him, Ginger. Get him, baby. Go get him, Ginger. Yeah. Yeah, just working this into the sculpture here. I'll kind of rough these in, these little forms, and once I kind of get them where I like them, I'll go in with a little 70% alcohol or 99% alcohol, and just brush them out and smooth them out a little bit, some of these forms here. The rake also helps that. You don't want to over rake it. You want a little of these little bumps and grooves and things because it adds a nice texture to the silicone appliance. So you don't want it absolutely super smooth on the sculpture for silicone. For foam latex appliances, you might want to smooth it out a little bit more, depending on the character and what effect you're trying to achieve. But I see this guy as kind of a gnarly, old, blubbery lounge singer type guy. So I'll leave a lot of these rough details. Trying to work this into this little line here. The sculpture, just finishing that so it blends onto the cheek piece. So I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm going to start working on the smile lines here. With the crow's feet, this area in here. Just trying to work this wrinkle into this wrinkle. Don't want to change this too much because the overall sculpture was designed for this wrinkle to kind of go into this one. You can see a little bit of it here in the mold, so I don't want to deviate too far. You kind of keep it in line with this line right in here. Blending this into this sculpture here, as you can see. Just going with the flow. Little larger raking tool. This is great for these larger areas. Just kind of smoothing that out. Tying all these forms together. honing in on completion of this sculpture. Blending, blending, and more blending. Just a thinner, smaller raking tool. Get rid of some of these tool marks, these bigger raking marks. There we go. Looking better here. So I really went in and made some changes in the forehead, and I added, I don't know if you can see that, but little bits of bone structure. And I'll go in and rake these down a little bit more with this little tool. Some of these wrinkles look a little heavy to me, but I put in a little bits of bone structure here, and this kind of temple bone, and trying to give it a little bit of structure. I'll go in and rake this down a little bit. Maybe I'll throw in a little vein, light vein in there, and but I think I'm in a good place here, basically. And just, blending in the structure here. Right in here, trying to get this nasolabial fold to blend into this part of the cheek here. I think it's on a good trajectory. And then I'll put in some little nose wrinkles, not too many, just a few to make it look a little fleshy in here. But I think I'm in a good spot there, and so I'll brush this out with alcohol and a brush, and then start adding some texture. So I'm going in and smoothing out some of these forms with this funky little yellow sponge, this coarse yellow sponge. You can get them at a good theatrical makeup supply company like Friends, who's really great in Hollywood, or Alcone in New York, if you're in New York like me. And it just smooths out this clay. These little fibers here just kind of, you can go over and you can kind of feel through the sponge what you're hitting here. And just kind of smooths the clay out. And rakes over these little forms quite nicely. You can go a little bit more firm, and smooth out these forehead wrinkles a little bit here. It's a neat trick. a really good friend of mine, the late great, incredibly talented Billy Terazakis, from Vancouver, Canada, taught me this trick back on The Revenant. We worked together on that movie, and God bless Billy. I miss him, but he showed me a lot of great little tricks, and this is one that I can't thank him enough for. And it's really great. Love this little guy. Hey, Murphy. Murphy. Murphy, you helping Daddy? Yeah? You helping me? Thanks, buddy. Thank you. So this is the finished sculpture. Thought it'd be a good idea to show you the sculpture of the forehead and nose before it's textured, just kind of smoothed out, and before I go in and put all the skin textures into it. So, a little out of focus there. Let me go back. Let's see. So yeah, this is just smoothed out and brushed out with alcohol, and 99% alcohol on a brush. And now we'll go ahead and we'll start laying in all the textures. Let me sharpen that up for you. And here's just a take two on that last clip of the sculpture, smoothed out and ready for texture. There might be a few little areas that I'll just brush over again with 99% alcohol on a brush, but just wanted to give you a profile of that sculpture, and then I'll come around over this light here and show you the, let me see if I can pull some focus on this. There we go. And this is just smoothed out, non-textured, no skin texture yet. And there we go. So now begins the fun part of putting in all the skin texture. And I got this little tiny, I mean, there's my finger. That's how tiny this little tool is. But it's great for putting in these little pore textures. And I'll just start popping some of these textures in, and follow the textures that are in the cheek prosthetic. Just kind of getting them to blend a little bit. And you'll see at the tip of this tool I collect a little bit of clay, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of plop some clay hither and yon around, just to create these little bumps of texture right here. I don't know if you can see that, but in here. But I'll keep going, and I'll try to carve these little textures in the direction of the nose and the skin, the way it would flow, like come around this way and in the nasolabial folds here, and head out in this direction. Just just laying all these little textures in.